Okay, let's get into this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into mindful listening, but we're looking at it through a really specific, quite powerful story.
Yeah, we've got this personal reflection from a listener, Jasmine, who used a framework, Lenova, from the Mindful Gym program, to basically transform her relationship with her teenage daughter.
Exactly. And what's great is this isn't just theory, right? It's like boots on the ground application of mindfulness in, well, one of the toughest arenas, parenting.
A very real-world scenario.
So our mission here is to really pull out the practical stuff, the kind of aha moments from her journey, see how these ideas actually work.
And the starting point she describes is something I think a lot of parents will recognize. That difficulty connecting with a teenager, feeling like you're just not equipped.
Yeah, conversations becoming tense, draining,
Yeah.
very relatable struggle.
That feeling of being unprepared, she really highlights that. She makes this striking comparison.
Oh, the driving license one.
Yeah, exactly. We need all this training for a car, but for parenting, which is arguably way more complex.
You're sort of just thrown in. She felt she needed to, what was the phrase, upgrade her parenting license.
That's the one. And this really came to a head when her daughter was, what, 14 or 15?
Around that age, yeah. The daughter was apparently quite expressive, a school debater even, strong opinions.
Right, but communication was still breaking down. Jasmine felt she couldn't express herself well, and things just felt hard, emotionally tough.
So she asked herself, why is this so difficult?
And this is where she had that major insight. The source calls it an aha moment. She realized she was focusing entirely on her daughter's behavior.
The tip of the iceberg.
Exactly, just reacting to the actions, trying to correct them, but missing everything underneath.
The emotions, the thoughts, the needs, all that stuff driving the behavior.
All the silent struggles.
Yeah.
And realizing that was the key, shifting from trying to fix the behavior to trying to understand the why.
So less about finding the perfect words to say, more about changing our own focus. From reacting to, well, mindfully listening.
Precisely. That shift was the catalyst, and that's where this specific practice came in.
The Lenova framework you mentioned, from Mindful Gym.
Yes. She describes turning to that as the turning point. Mindful Gym seems to be about practical mindfulness skills, and Lenova a specific listening guide within it.
Okay, so she has this tool now. Where did she actually begin? What was the first practical step?
It started with a deep commitment to just being present. The source mentions a story about a wise emperor.
Oh yeah, I remember reading that part. The most important time is now.
The most important person is the one you're with, and the most important thing is to care.
Which sounds profound, but how does she actually do that with her daughter, in a practical sense?
It meant consciously pausing, putting her phone down, turning away from the computer, giving her daughter her full attention when she spoke.
Even if the topic seemed trivial.
Especially then, maybe. She recognized that just offering that full presence, that undivided attention, was a powerful act of respect, of care.
And that alone started to make a difference, created some space.
It seems so. That presence was the foundation. But then, of course, came the actual listening. And it was more than just, hearing the words.
Right, the source says she moved beyond just giving advice, which is often the default, isn't it?
Absolutely. So instead of jumping in with solutions, she started practicing what the framework calls EVA. Empathy, validation, and affirmation.
Okay, EVA. Let's break that down. What did empathy look like in her conversations, based on the source examples?
Empathy was about tuning in and naming the feeling she sensed. So saying something simple like, I can sense that you're upset, just acknowledging the emotion.
Sowing, you see it. Okay. And validation. People sometimes mix that up with agreement.
That's a really important distinction. Validation isn't saying you're right or I agree with your actions. It's saying your feeling makes sense from your perspective.
Wow. Okay.
So her phrase was something like, it's understandable why you're feeling this way. It conveys, given how you see things, I get why you'd feel that emotion.
Right. So sense the feeling, validate the feeling, then affirmation.
Affirmation is about seeing the person's worth or effort, even when things are tough, like saying, I can see that you're doing your best.
Acknowledging the person behind the problem or the emotion.
Exactly. It's reinforcing their inherent value.
Right.
And those three together, EVA, they create this feeling of safety, of being seen and accepted, not judged or needing to be fixed.
Yeah, you can see how Just those simple phrases used consistently could totally change the dynamic.
Yeah.
The source also mentioned a specific question she learned to ask,
Oh, yes, that was a key one. Asking gently, would you like my opinion, or do you just need me to listen?
which is brilliant, really. It
Uh,
gives the daughter control.
Totally. Respects her autonomy, and it clarifies what's actually needed in that moment. Plus, it lets the parent off the hook from always having to have the answer.
So true. And this practice wasn't just about listening to her daughter, was it? It also taught Jasmine about her own state, modeling mindfulness and boundaries.
Yes, absolutely. Being mindfully present also means being aware of your own capacity. She learned it wasn't truly mindful listening if she was exhausted or distracted.
So she'd be honest about it.
Yeah, she learned to say things like, let me just finish this email first, then I can really listen, or, I'm really tired right now. If it's not urgent, can we pick this up later?
That takes courage, I think, and discipline.
It does.
Yeah.
And crucially, learning to pause a conversation if either of them go too emotional, stepping back before things escalated.
Which, with teenagers, is sometimes half the battle, isn't it? Just managing the intensity.
Definitely. So she commits to all this. Presence, EVA, the question, the boundaries, what happened, what were the results.
Well, the source makes it clear it wasn't instant. No magic wand.
Right, that's important. This stuff takes consistent practice, but gradually over time, the change was profound.
Oh, so.
A deeper emotional connection started to build. Trust grew. Safety, a stronger sense of love between them.
And did the daughter actually start talking more? Opening up?
Oh, yes, dramatically. She began sharing all sorts of things, school stuff, friends, her worries, her dreams, things she'd apparently kept inside before or maybe acted out instead of talking about.
And then there are those quotes from the daughter. They're really something.
They really are. They feel like the core evidence of the transformation, these spontaneous things her daughter said to her.
Like what? Remind us.
Things like, Mummy, you're a good listener. Simple but powerful. And, Mummy, you're such a kind and non-judgmental mom.
Wow.
Mummy, I feel safe to talk to you. And this one, Mummy, you're the only one who knows all my secrets.
Oof. The only one who knows all my secrets.
Ah.
That speaks volumes about the level of trust they built.
It really does. And then later, when the daughter was going to study abroad, she asked, Mummy, can we have weekly talking therapy when I study abroad?
Not actual therapy, but wanting to keep that dedicated, safe space for connection.
Exactly, framing their talks like that. And Jasmine calls these comments her silent awards.
Yeah, I like that. Not awards for being perfect, she says, but just for being present, for doing the work of listening.
It's a testament to what that dedicated, mindful attention can achieve. And it underscores that this was a journey. She started with Mindful Gym back in 2012.
Right, a long-term thing.
Yeah, she says she started unsure, wasn't always disciplined, but kept at it. Small steps, consistently, over years. It really shows the power of practice.
There was also that teaching mention from Dr. Fang about stress and suffering.
Ah, yes. The idea that, life inevitably throws challenges and stress our way. That's unavoidable.
But suffering is optional.
Suffering in response to it can be optional. That's the idea. Practicing mindfulness, practicing mindful listening helps you navigate those difficulties with more wisdom, more kindness toward yourself and others.
So it's really positioned as this ongoing, lifelong practice, a self-help journey.
Exactly. Not something you just learn and master, but something you keep coming back to, refining, leaning on.
So looking back at this whole deep dive into Jasmine's story, it's quite the arc. From that communication breakdown, feeling lost,
To building this incredibly close, trusting relationship, all through the consistent practice of mindful listening.
it really drives home how these skills, presence, empathy, validation, affirmation, those boundaries aren't just nice ideas.
No, they're practical tools, and when you apply them diligently, like she did, they can genuinely change the landscape of your most important relationships. I mean, the daughter's own words are the proof, aren't they?
Absolutely. It definitely makes you think about your own listening. The source quotes Dr. Fang again at the end. To listen is easy, but to listen mindfully is a skill.
That's the distinction, isn't it? We all hear. But how often are we truly listening in that mindful way? Are we actually present? Are we trying to understand what's beneath the surface, like Jasmine learned to do?
Or are we just waiting for our turn to talk, to fix, to judge?
Or thinking about our grocery list while nodding along?
Yeah. So the challenge maybe for you listening now is to think. What relationships in your life could benefit from this? Could a child, a partner, a friend, even a colleague? Could things shift if you committed to practicing mindful listening?
Oh.
If you tried to consciously upgrade your approach, like Jasmine did.
It's definitely a question worth sitting with. What might open up if you really practice listening not just to the words, but to everything underneath?